Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Record. And today I have songwriter, R&B artist, Be My Fiasco with me. So how are you doing today, girl?
Hey y'all. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a good day. It's a good day.
Yes. Yes, I'm so excited. So I just want to get started with when did you find your love for music?
Um, let's see. Well, I found it really early, probably around like two or three. Of course, a very classic, like grew up in church singing. My parents are they come from very musical families.
Nice.
So my mother had like a singing group with her sisters, and then my grandfather on my dad's side, I never got to meet him, but he was a Tejano singer. So music was kind of already there. And then I was just a really annoying child singing songs and bothering my parents and making up songs. And like I was that kid. So heavy on the annoying, but like I think like from that age, that was it. And then when I think I fully realized that I love music, probably like nine.
Okay.
I tell this story a lot of like Aaliyah passed and it really like hit me. I think I was 9 or 10 and I don't know why I heard that specifically. Like I didn't know it, I like we have no real connection, but I
Yeah.
had a great connection to her music and it really like hit me in a way. And I was like,
Mhm.
dang. So I made some cute little like songs about her and like I was gonna miss her on my little tape recorder in my room. And my mama came in and she was like grabbing all my stuff and she stole it and then she played it and was like, "Oh my God, this is so cute." And then played it for everybody, like Mama said.
Of course.
Like, okay, I think you might actually like this. So you might actually do this. And so it kind of started from there. So yeah, since I was little bitty thing.
Oh, I love that. I used to like put on little concerts for my parents too, with me and my sister.
Did y'all have choreography and everything too?
Of course, of course.
Oh, you got to. You got to. I love that.
Of course, little shows. We are gonna have a showing at 7 p.m. Everybody comes to the living room. Like,
So cute. The kids don't know about it, okay? That was a time.
yes.
Oh
So
my gosh.
besides like Aaliyah, like who were some artists that you grew up listening to?
Let's see. Some Anita, of course, that was always playing. Music Soul Child is heavy in the house. Of course, the old like he's my like ultimate favorite. We'll get to that, I guess. But like, yeah. A lot of oldies, of course. So like some like classic Michael, newer Michael, Earth, Wind and Fire. Like my dad was a huge Heat Wave fan. Like we listened to just about everything. But like as far as like you want more influences or you want just like what we were listening to?
Yeah, just the artist. I feel like that gives me a good realm of like even just how like you are as an artist now. Like when you say Music Soul Child, like he's also one of my favorites too. Like he's the best. So underrated, I feel like, because he's amazing. Like, oh, he's amazing.
Yeah, they sleep. They sleep, but yeah, he is. So I
Yeah.
think that'll kind of wrap up. I mean, a little bit of everything, honestly. Whatever, like we played everything in the house.
Yeah, no, I love that. Where is the origin of your name from? Like your stage name and stuff, because I feel like it's so cool.
Thank you. So I was a huge Lupe Fiasco fan, like getting out of high school, college, and backpack rap. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And for a long time on Twitter, I think, loving Lasers because he had his Lasers album out at the time. But it wasn't doing so well, and he was kind of going through it. So I kind of wanted to like put a little space in between. It's like I want to be a fan, but like, you know.
Yeah.
And when I meet him, I can't wait to tell the story. I'm so excited. But
Yes, yes.
so I was in Atlanta at the convention center with my mom, and I was like, I want to change my name. So I'm going through like combinations, just writing it down, and then Be My Fiasco popped up, and I was like, okay, this could work. And then if I get a band, then like weird, like it's like a band name, and then we'll figure it out and put it on my Twitter. And then one day I was like, I'm gonna change everything, whatever, website name,
Mhm.
all that, and it just kind of stuck. And so it's a bit of my like homage to Lupe, and then just I was like, this just sounds interesting. But I will say,
Mhm.
you gotta be careful about what you name yourself because it's not exactly the best name. It's like basically like be my downfall essentially. So you kind of gotta be careful. I think doing it again, I might change it up, but we're here now, so I'm gonna stick with it.
Exactly. I think it sticks. I think it's so unique. So like when I found you and stuff like that, I was like, I have to ask her this question. Like, where did you come up with that name? So
Oh, yeah.
I love that. So I know you worked along Fonte, which is like, he's a legend. So on the new project, like basically on the show Sherman Showcase for the second season. So how did that working relationship begin and how was your experience of working on the show?
Um, well, Fonte and I, our working relationship began via Twitter, like
Okay.
20, ooh, it's been a while, like 2015, maybe 2014, 2015, somewhere up in there. And I had a mixtape at the time, and I sent him one of the songs that was inspired by one of his songs, or one of the foreign exchange songs at the time. Just send a casual tweet, and we had already followed each other on Twitter, but like just like talking music. And
Hmm.
so like 2 weeks later, he messages me. He's like, with his coveted like fish grease, this is fire. Like send me this. I need this or whatever. So he sends me his email. I send it over. He's like, hey, so like what you working on? What's happening? Whatever. And we were just, kind of back and forth talking and just talking music. And then one day he's like, hey, can you just like sing over this real quick? Doesn't tell me like what it's for. He was just like, sing this line over this thing.
Hmm.
And it ended up being like the Robert Glasper, Miles Davis, Everything is Beautiful album.
Wow.
I was thinking like just the hook on the song is called Violets on there. And he didn't tell me for good reason because I probably would have like passed out. And I was like, wait a
Yes.
minute, we made, so I'm running through like Walmart looking for the CD, just like, oh my God, that whole thing. So that was the beginning of like our working relationship. And then
Hmm.
he would just send me random things and never tell me what they were going to be for a while, for like years. And just like, hey, sing this, do, whatever. And then at the top of the pandemic, he finally asked me, so years, right? Years have passed. The top of the pandemic, he asked, he's like, hey, what are you trying to do? And I was like, I don't know, maybe like a little house EP, a little three songs or whatever. And he's like, you want to do a whole album? I was like, yeah, okay, just like, all right, whatever. And so um, this was back when I was living in Dallas. I was teaching kindergarten at the time. I was in grad school to be a therapist at the same time. And he's like, well, you got like 2 weeks, come out to North Carolina and record this album. And so we did 11 songs in and out in a week, 2 weeks roughly. And then the last week, because I had to be back to teach, mind you,
Yeah.
um, like all the behind the scenes and the hair, the makeup, the photos, it was insane. Never again. But that was kind of the origin. And so that album did so well, the first one, that he was like, you should come move here and make music. And I was like, okay, like again, so like quit teaching, got out of grad school, drove my car here, and here we are 3 years later. Last week made 3 years, which is crazy.
Wow.
And so basically with that, I wasn't officially a part of the show per se, but he definitely was like, hey, again, I just need you to do some vocals on this Black is Mayor song. And just do add a little flair. And that's how that kind of came about. So, working with Fonte, you never really know. I'm just making things some days. He's like, do this, add this. And I'm just like, okay. So I've learned to trust him throughout the years.
No, definitely. I feel like he definitely has your best interest at heart and like he's using your talent and like putting you on these like big things. Like, oh my, that's insane. That's insane to me.
It
Like,
is.
and
It's
you're
like
talented, so it's not like surprising. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense. It makes sense. So, yeah.
yeah. Whew.
No, I love that. All right. So first off, congratulations because you got your Grammy nomination, for your songwriting, Hathaway's Vantablack album. So how did that collaboration come about?
Thank you. Again, Fonte asked me to do things. Uh, so this is maybe 2 years ago, I would say. And this is at the time we were just doing features like nonstop, just for whatever. And again, you just never know if they're actually going to come out. You hope, obviously.
Yeah.
So we did this like 2 years ago, and it was like, I forget about it, honestly. I was just like, okay, we're just going to go back to working. And he was like, "Hey, I think Layla's gonna put out her album, like for real, like this year." I was like, for real," because you never. He's like, "Yeah." So we look at the track listing, and I'm like, "Okay, like we're gonna make yeah, okay, cool, fine." But again, it still wasn't real. I knew it was coming, but it was like I don't, you sure, whatever. So the day it comes out, I'm like, okay. And she, no, she emails, her assistant emails, and it's like, hey, just so you know, you are on the song, you're credited, all the things. I'm like, okay, cool.
Hmm.
And she's like, yeah, Layla's gonna reach out to you and, just talk to you about the things. And then like she texted me one day and I was just like, so she knows I exist. That's crazy. Um, wow, what a legend. Like I'm like panicking, but also like, hey, how you doing? Trying to be, like I'm good, I'm cool, I'm fine. But on the inside, I was like, oh my God, it's like, and yeah, it came out and it really just kind of changed things or kind of just how people approached me in a certain way. And not that I hadn't been writing for other artists, but that was the time where it was like, okay, people kind of saw me and like took it a bit more serious. And then, of course, with the nomination, it just kind of doubled or tripled that because it's like, okay, this is a thing. Yeah. So again, Fonte asking me to do random things as usual. But this time, so now that we've been at it, he'll usually be like, hey, would you like to help me write for Layla or help me do whatever? And of course, I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah. At least he'll tell me who it is now, which is nice.
No, that's good. No, that's great. No, I love that because like, that's why I wanted to learn about your whole like songwriting process too versus like, you writing for yourself versus others. So like how would you describe that? Like is it different for you or kind of the same?
Yeah, you want to keep the artist in mind and like what they would do. And then also like they're going to change it up how they're going to do it either way.
Uh-huh.
What was nice about this one, so we did the second verse, I pretty much did, with the help of Fonte, of course. And she pretty much sung it exactly how I demoed it, which was really fun to
Oh,
hear.
wow.
Like, oh my gosh, she's there, so she can. Like, like, right. Like, I'm freaking out at the house. I'm just like, she's sung it the way I wrote it. So yeah, but it's up to interpretation. But honestly, I'm still me. Like, it's not too different. Now, maybe if I'm starting to write for like a Ariana Grande or a Kalani or something, then I would definitely have to kind of change it up. But a lot of time people kind of want you to do you with them in mind,
Uh-huh.
which is helpful. But yeah, as of now, I just kind of do me, and usually people just kind of, you know, they kind of work around it. So it's nice, thankfully.
No, that's great. As I think it would be, I mean, everyone does it all the time, not everyone, but like when you're writing for someone in general, you kind of want like their vision in mind and then, like what plays well with them. And then, but you also, they asked you for a reason, because like your own signature to things. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I always like to ask that when I talk to a songwriter because I think the process is interesting. So.
Oh, that it is. This word, I think.
So let's talk about your music. So you just dropped Pretty Little Love in October. So like where did the inspiration come for that?
Oh wow. So Pretty Little Love is like 3 years in the making. Like we had finished my first project where I left you. And again, Fonte came to me and he was like, all right, so we went through the whole process of making the album and writing and promoting videos. And he was like, on this one, this is gonna be you. Because people want to know, like, not that the first one wasn't, but he was a lot more instrumental in that one. This was very much like, what do you want to say? Who do you want to be on this project? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't, I have no idea like which direction to go sonically. Like I was completely like, I'm hitting all my homies and the other members of FE, and I'm just like, how do I? And they're just like, nobody has answers. And so the first year of just like picking songs or trying to figure out what I want to say was just confusion of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like, how is it supposed to work? And then eventually I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna make something. I'm gonna just make songs
Uh-huh.
on my life and what's going on. And crazy enough, there's 8 songs on the project, and like 4 of those happened in like the last 3 weeks before the album came out.
Wow.
That usually it's kind of what happens, right? So because you think like you have what you want to say, and
Mhm.
then life happens, and then it's like, oh wait, no, I have some more to say. Let me move some things around. And
Mhm.
again, even in the last final weeks, I was like, I don't know if they're gonna like this. Like this is, I don't really know the order or the structure or, and at the time I was doing weekly IG lives where I was making songs with the audience. So like I would choose, and I do this live, by the way. So I was choosing a random song from like my files, and then
Mhm.
I'll have the audience like give me like 5 words that you want me to use, and I want you to like choose. any word, like make it fun and ridiculous, and they do, which is insane.
I love
They
those.
don't make it easy, which I want. It's supposed to be a challenge. And then in the comments, like they kind of help. We go line by line, and I'm thinking of melodies, and we're singing. And so two of those songs actually made the project, which is funny you mentioned it earlier. So In My Garden was an IG Live joint that people helped put together. And then,
Really?
Festival, the last one, same. So I'll go into a deep dive of that sometime on my Instagram, I'm sure.
Uh,
Um, but yes, so those happen literally, like Festival is like a week or two before, and again, Fonte's verse came in like 3 days before we were going to turn it in. So it was kind of sporadic. And then again, the magic of this was that I was putting this together on my own. But even at the end, Fonte helped me like order it, put it in the correct order, and it's like, all right, you got this. So I was doing the photo shoots. I'm doing the, bringing on the features and who I'd like to put on there, who I think would sound good, so
mhm.
that process, the process was a lot, but I'm glad that I got to do it because now I have a better idea for the next one. Like, okay, this worked, this didn't work, but terrifying is the best word that I can put because I had no idea what I was doing, and I was like, they're not gonna like any of these songs. Like, it's gonna be So a journey is what I'd like to say for this project, but it got done and it turned out really well. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, like, how did you even pick the collaborations like for this project too? Because I feel like it mended so well together. Like each like featured verse, it just like made sense. 'Cause a lot of times like it doesn't, and it's just like, okay, like you could have done this on your own, you know what I'm saying? But like you know what I'm saying? Like, you go to the album to like listen to the artist, but it's just like this would have been okay solo. Like I wouldn't have been mad at it. So how did you like come up with like all the collaborations you had?
Um, Ooh. So sometimes I'll hear beats and I'm like, oh, and everybody on here are my friends or someone that like I've conversed with and really like believe in their work. So I knew it was like, okay, for example, let me see. Well, no, sorry, for free for track two for free,
Mhm.
Misha and I had actually worked on that in LA when we met for the very first time, which is
Oh,
crazy. Weird.
wow.
And so I left, and he was like, I think I have a feature for this. That would be great, which is Katori Walker in the beginning. And I had no idea who he was and if he was even going to be great. But he sent it back, and I was like, yeah, yeah, okay, cool. So that was the only one where I didn't choose, but it was a
Uh-huh.
great choice.
Uh-huh.
And then for like Red Light Fantasy, I've been wanting to get Sonny Miles on a project with me forever. He's amazing. And he was also in one of my early videos, Outside the Lines. So he was like my love interest. So I was like, we got to figure this out. So that was a long time coming.
Mhm.
Um, what's after that? Might Be Ready. My homie Jawan in LA. Jawan MP3, of course, is incredible. Incredible music.
Yes.
Please go check him out. He's incredible. I knew I was like, I need her singing like 90s feel. And I was like, I know you got this. And again, I didn't even give him too much direction. I wrote the verse, but I was like, just, make it you. And he definitely did. Um, I'm going through. It was very feature heavy this time. Carlita for In My Garden. She was obviously a label mate, so it was easy. And then of course very airy and light. And I was like, oh, she's perfect for this. This is what she does. I know her. She got this. Um, my favorite feature though still has to be Lola on Pretty Little Love, just because this project, not gonna lie to you, was not gonna have no love songs, zero love songs. So the fact that it's titled what it is hilarious to me. But I heard the beat, and it was an Anakin Invader beat produced by them, and both of us have relationships with them. And I was like, you know what? I think she'd be great on here. And she's already cool with the producers.
Uh-huh.
I sent it to her, and she sends me a voice memo back, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking something like this," and like sings pretty much kind of what you heard, like an early skeleton version. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, ma'am, go lay that down immediately. Can you go off the phone and go, can you go do that now? Because what if you just do? So she had already had the first verse and the hook down. And I just added my verse and like, colored up her hook. But that is still my favorite collaboration. One, because it came a week before it was due and she
Mhm.
absolutely nailed it. And I was like, I think that's the title. okay, like yeah. So the title came very much like that. I was like, this is beautiful. You're in love, and I'm glad that you can write love songs. I love that for you. It's works. Fine. Pretty Little Love it is. And yeah, so that was her. Um, Let me see. After that, finally is me. And then Fonte actually asked to be on the festival at the end. He was like, no, 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 I need to get on there. I was like, hey, I got you. So yeah, it just it gave me confidence to kind of choose because I wasn't really sure. It was like, again, I'm putting together an album for the first time, kind of not on my own, but on my own. I'm
Mhm.
just hoping I'm making the best decisions. And so the best advice I got was just decide. Whatever you choose is what you choose. So that's kind
Yeah.
of how that came about.
No, I liked how like sporadic kind of like some of the decisions were made and like they were, I would say like the right decisions. So how do you like working? Do you like working in that type of style or do you like having, are you like a super like organized person, like want everything or just kind of like you just wanted the album to reflect your most current state of mind?
Well, that's crazy because when I first started, like finally, it's the very first song that I made. I was, just starting out on guitar and I was in a completely different space over there. And so
Mhm.
to have it on the album now is like I'm not in that space, but I'm in that space. So sometimes some of those songs are from, excuse me, years ago where you're like, oh, okay. So part of me in some of those songs are like, I'm not even there, but now I gotta, make this work and explain it to people and so there's that part of it. I think it can be a challenge, I will say. Just trying to, I don't know, just trying to I don't know. That's actually I'm really thinking about that now. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know. Remind me of the question again. My brain just fogged up.
Oh, girl, you're fine. You're fine. I would just say, like, what do you prefer kind of like as your working
Oh,
environment?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not a type A person. Like I can be if I need
Uh-huh.
to be, but like at my core, absolutely
I
not.
feel
But for this one, especially since I was kind of like building the plane as I was flying it was
uh-huh.
pretty much all over the place. And then I think it's nice to have somebody to help reel me in.
Yeah.
Because like if you tell me like, oh, so for example, for the first project, it was like, hey, let's go through these 11 beats. And do you like them? Yes. Okay, we're only gonna do 11 songs. And all 11 of these are gonna go on the album. So it was very fixed versus
Mhm.
this, like I think I made like 15, 16 songs, and it's like, okay, how can we condense this? So I think I need to kind of like let me go and then
Mhm.
we'll bring it back in. I think that works best. Cause like you never know like what's gonna come out of your, ideas or whatever.
Exactly. Like I think just being a creative is like you kind of need like somebody or just another like tap into that other side of yourself that's a little bit more organized to get the stuff like together. And I feel like that's happens. I was just talking about this with one of my friends like literally yesterday. It's just like it's great like how our minds can go and then it's just like okay, but like how do we get this done? Like how do we like actually like, put this all together so it like makes sense, you know?
Right. Yeah, no. It's a lot, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, no, it is hard. So like I know you talked a little bit about it, but the track listing, like on your project.
Whew. Yes. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You determine that.
I got you.
Walk me through it.
Okay. So again, thank goodness for Fonte because I was in a full panic. Like I wish you could have heard some of those phone calls of just like, we have all these songs and like, are we gonna use this for this? Like, I don't know. And he was like, hey, I got you. Hold on, give me a minute. And so he put them in order because we were trying to decide if we were still gonna use Don't Want to Be Your Lover to start because it was already released in I believe like April or May. And it was, it's completely different from pretty much anything else on there. But I was like,
Yeah.
it's already kind of out and I really want to include it. He was like, it's your call. And I was like, yep, it's going. Cool. So very much that. And then I knew, I'm trying to think, I knew Finally was going to be on this project. I knew Free was going to be on this project. Don't Want to Be was a toss up. And then everything else was everything else. Like everything else kind of came last minute.
Mhm.
Um, so Don't Want to Be, obviously, like that came after Finally. So it was Finally I made first, and then Don't Wanna Be. Finally and Don't Want to Be Your Lover are very much like getting out of this relationship years ago, and a little salty about it also, just a little bit, but making it dancey, you can dance through the pain. So that's
Yeah.
what um Free was kind of like getting back into a space where it's your self-love and you're trying to figure yourself out and give pour back into yourself in this state of like heartbreak and like, ooh, no one is coming to save you, so you have to kind of figure this out.
Yeah.
Um, fantasy is very much like I'm back out here in these streets, and we're just gonna have a good time. Um, because I don't feel like dealing with the things, so we're just gonna be out here. Um, mhm. I haven't had to explain in my garden yet, which is so fun. Um, in my garden is more so like, how do I explain in my garden? In my garden, it's very much it's self love as well. I would absolutely say.
For sure.
Yep. We're back there. But yeah, beautiful, airy, spacey, self-love again. Then we're moving. Oh no, I'm skipping. That skip might be ready. I did. So before, sorry. Okay, we're back. My bad. So we're like fantasy. So after that, it's like, oh, I'm back out in these streets. And then might be ready is like, well, maybe like I could be in a relationship again. Maybe. So a lot of back and forth on this album, by the way. It's a lot of like, I'm taking care of myself. No, I'm back out in these streets. But then I kind of want to be the person. And then like you go back to In My Garden where it's like, okay, I'm just be by myself, girl. Like I got this. It's fine. And then you move from there, and then Pretty Little Love happens, and it's like, oh, I kind of want to be in love again. That's so, and that was the past 3 years. To be quite honest, it's like I'm going through these phases of like, oh, I want to be dating. I don't have time to date. Oh, the apps are terrible. I don't. It's a lot of back and forth, and so by the time you get to Finally, it's just like, yeah, how do we start over? How do I figure this out? I don't know, but we're here, I guess. And then at the end is more like acceptance of life being a festival and it's all over the place. And maybe I like you, maybe I don't. Maybe, and festival is very special just because Fontaine and I lost a very good friend. And so his verse wasn't like in paying homage to him, which I didn't know he was going to do, which was
Oh, wow.
also wild. So hearing it for the first time, he sent it back. I was in tears. I was just like, oh, this is why you wanted this song. Okay. So it was um a beautiful send off for my friend, our friend.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, that a lot in this project, a whole lot.
But I think that you just perfectly described like in music, like the process like everyone goes through. Like you go through like you're in love, you go through a breakup, and then you're like, okay, like after this breakup, what do I do? Like, do I go on the apps? Do I go out? Like, no, never mind. Like that's I mean, at least that's how I be processing things. Like you
Right.
described like so many like sanctions of my life just
Oh,
now.
good.
I'd
Okay,
be
good.
confused. I'd be so
Yeah,
confused. I was like, I don't know what to do next after this event?
yeah.
So I think that that's where I think a lot of people, especially fans too, will be able to relate to that because it's so true. It's
Oh,
sad.
good. It's nice to know. I knew I wasn't alone, so thank you.
No,
Thank you. Okay.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. So in terms of like your debut album Where I Left You and then now Pretty Little Love, like how has your artistry like, expanded or changed in that amount of time?
Whew. So much life has been lived between albums, which is, I think that's what you need, honestly. I know people, especially now, are like, you put out projects or singles very quickly, but I am a firm believer, like, you do need to live some life so you have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said before, Pretty Little, Where I Left You was very much like a huge team. Like they were bringing me into the fold and introducing me into the, foreign exchange music family, and I'm new here and figuring it out. And with Pretty Little Love, it was very much like I'm fully deciding what it is I want to do and what I want to sound like and who I want to be. And as terrifying as that was, it was very liberating, very nice to just be like, oh my God, I think I can do this. Like I think I might be all right. Like we didn't die. It was great. Um,
Yeah.
I know it's crazy to think about now, but yeah, in between those two, completely different people. I do feel like I have way more confidence in the way that I'm writing or the songs that I'm choosing. This album was also me stepping into, co-producing. So doing a little bit, so I did co-production on Don't Want to Be Your Lover, and then on Finally I was playing guitar. So it started out on guitar,
Oh
and
wow.
I had my guys come in and fill in. So that was really cool. That was, yeah, it was my first time playing live on on an actual like song. And I remember I recorded, I'm sure I'll post it. I'm just like, oh my
Yes,
God, I'm
please.
playing this. Yeah. And then I played it live. I had a show here in Durham, and I had never played guitar standing. So the night before, I had to Google like how to put on a guitar strap, like how to craziness. But but again, it gives you the confidence to do things like that when you're just like, I'm gonna try it. And so I
Absolutely.
really felt like I got the training wheels off on this project. And yeah, it I'm excited. I'm glad that it's being received well, and I'm glad that, the things happen the way they happen.
No, I am too. I definitely am too. And I just want to know, where can fans like follow you and, obviously stream Pretty Little Love?
Oh, I got you. Okay. So, I am on everything under Be My Fiasco, BEMY Fiasco like Lupe. Um, you can get the album. It's available on all streaming platforms. We would also prefer if you would buy it either off of Apple or iTunes or Bandcamp. Again, same name, everything. Or you can go to the website, listen, BeMyFiasco.com. We're revamping the things over there, but again, you put in Be My Fiasco, you can find it. So it's up there. It's bright green too. We made it real cute for y'all.
I love that. Yes, yes. So we're gonna go into our hot topic now, and it's kind of based on your song Might Be Ready. So, which I feel like if you listen to the song, but also like the title, it's like self-explanatory. So, what do you think is a deciding factor for you in your own life and being ready for a relationship?
Ooh. Um, I don't think you're ever really fully ready,
True.
just
I
to be
agree.
honest. But um, for me, it's like, do I have the capacity and space to really pour into a relationship in the way that I want to? So, like spending time, being able to talk to you, being able to share space with you. If I feel like currently, I feel like I'm on the go quite a bit,
Uh-huh.
but maybe maybe I could see. No, I'm lying. Lies. I don't have time for one right now. Like as much as I would like to be in one, I don't have the time to fully like show up 100% in something. I could probably give you a solid like 65%, and that's
Yeah.
not enough to be like, okay, I'm gonna go. So like sister said, if you don't like, why you bother me when you don't want me? Like when you don't want, like, don't come over here if you're not gonna fully invest or fully be present. So I try not to, do that. But I keep my eyes open now. We don't, I keep my eyes open. Yeah, no, I think that's really it. If I have the space for it, I'm open to it. But currently, like we're busy. So
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think because like all my friends, like I'm single too, like all my friends are just like, oh, like why don't you go on dates? Like why don't you do this? Blah blah blah. I like honestly, like I've never been on apps. Like I just have no interest in being on apps, and that's no shade to anyone who's on apps because that's just like me personally. Like I feel like I have to vibe with people like in person, and I also agree with your whole like you're on the go right now. I feel like that has been me for like the past couple of years. And I'm just a person who, if I do something, I'm committing to it 100%. Like if I can't give like majority of myself to whatever it is, like a project or like a new friendship or job or whatever it is, if I can't do it completely, then like I'd rather just not do it because I feel like you're never gonna miss anything that you're supposed to have. I'm never gonna like I feel like I try to live life with like no regrets. I feel like I don't have any regrets, at least right now, and I hope like that never changes. But I don't feel like I fumbled anybody. Like if that,
and didn't because we're
I
here
did it.
now,
I feel
right?
like I never fumbled. So I
Yeah,
just think that like, just moving forward, it's just like I gotta I just gotta choose the best timing for myself because it's not fair to the other person, you know?
I agree. I
It's
agree.
not fair. So yeah. But that was good. That was good. I want to know a little bit more about you now, so have your fans know about you too. So we're gonna get to know Be My Fiasco. So this will be a
Okay.
couple, yes, couple like rapid fire questions and everything. So first off, what is your zodiac sign?
Ooh, I'm a Scorpio. I'm wearing it now. It's right there.
Okay. Yes, yes. Who is an artist that you would like to collab with in the future that you haven't worked with yet?
Ooh, we were just talking about her, but Alex Isley. I just heard her on what is it, Robert Glasper's Christmas album, and she covered Joy to the World.
Love her.
That song heals me in such a way. Like it is so simple and it's so beautiful. Like it's angelic. So
Yeah.
Alex Isley, like I feel like our voices like complement really well. So
Oh yeah.
I'm claiming that one. I'm claiming that one.
Yeah, no, when I was like, yeah, sidebar too, I was listening to the album, like she was like who I had in mind too when I was listening to you. So like for you to say that and you to be like a fan of her work too, it's just like I love it. I love it when the girls like each other and stuff. So who was your teen celebrity crush?
Oh God.
Your facial expressions.
Woo. Which one, child? Probably I'm gonna stay in music. It was probably Omarion,
Okay.
probably. You know, I love the lead singer. We did.
Yeah.
But
We
you know, because everybody had their picks in the group, you know, who they liked, but I
should.
always gravitate to the lead singer, which is terrible, I'm sure. Love these little Omarion with them braids and the baby hair at the top. Like, oh, what a time. Oh my gosh. Whew.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think I liked Lil Fizz a little bit. Like,
Come on, light skins. Yeah.
but I did like Omari. Like I was literally there was I think it was a TikTok or something I saw that they were doing Icebox. I was like, yo, that was my song. That was my song.
Oh, that was so good. The kids don't know.
They
Oh,
don't.
what a time. Oh,
They don't. Okay, so who are three of your favorite artists of all time?
oh, of all time? Wow.
Yeah.
Gee, okay. That's a hard one. Okay, so I don't like to include like the super greats, like a Michael
Okay.
Jackson, Prince, Stevie Wonder,
Okay.
Aretha. Those are like givens. So those are we're at that's Mount Rushmore. So them aside, I'm gonna try to get my three. Let's see. Jasmine Sullivan,
Oh, yes.
my girl. Oh,
Yes.
incredible. Hey, that's hard. This is my list today. I'll say that. Just today.
Okay. That's
Jasmine
cool.
Sullivan, Music Soul Child. Um, hmm. Ooh, that's rough. It's probably gonna be SWV. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. I feel like those are like today. That's really where I'm at. I mean, that's me at my core, I would say.
I like that. Who is an actor that you would love to play you in a biopic?
Ooh, that's a great question. Who would that be? Ooh, what's her name? I don't know how you say her last name, but I see her all the time and she's wonderful. But she's older. It don't matter. Okay. I think is it Nicole? Is it Bahari? Bahari?
Oh, yes, I love her. Yes.
Right?
Okay, yeah, yeah. She was in Black Mirror, right?
Yeah, in the Striking Vipers episode
Yes.
with the big
Yes.
things. Yes, she's
Yes.
incredible. I still haven't caught her in the morning show. I think on Apple TV, but I will.
Oh, I need to watch
Yeah.
that. I've been need to watch that. Like,
Oh, no, but yeah, she if I could, that she would be awesome. She's
oh, I
incredible.
can see that. I can see that. She's so talented too. She's so talented. Uh, what is an album that you would love to listen again for the first time?
Ooh. Um. Well, my favorite album of all time is D'Angelo's Voodoo. So I would love to like listen to that for the very first time again and just have my ears explode.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
What is your favorite album so far this year? This might be hard. This is a good year. It's a good year for music.
Favorite album this year. Oh my goodness. Now I gotta think about what came out this year. Oh, yikes. Can I say mine? Because like
Yeah,
that's I was gonna say mine, of course.
absolutely,
I'm trying to think
absolutely.
of like some other ones, but outside of mine, my other label mate, Cy Smith, I was on her album too. Like her album is gorgeous, it's beautiful. Um, I'm trying to really think though, outside of mine and Cy Smith, I'm trying to think what came out this year. I know I love somebody's album this year. I'm out here lying. Like what? Hold on. Give me some options. Who came out this
You
year?
could, yeah, you could take your time too. Okay, like huge Beyonce fan, so Beyonce, Cowboy
Dang,
Carter.
I missed that whole Catholic. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Cowboy.
Beyonce. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm
Okay.
in love with Kendrick's new album, GNX. It just came out.
It's with the mustard. I've been yelling mustard for no reason. Mustard. Like I just oh my
Oh
goodness.
my God. I'm trying to think. Leon Thomas's Mutt. Love
Hmm.
that one. Oh God. Tyla's album, uh, which is self-titled. Sabrina Carpenter. Um,
Heard.
yes.
Okay. There we go. I really liked what is it? Tyler's new album.
Oh, Tyler. Yeah, Chromacopia.
Gosh, I forgot. I was because we were on the same wavelength. It came out a day apart. The Greens. I was like, we here. I got you. Um, and I've been like a casual Tyler fan. Like I've loved his work, but this one, much like when you were talking about like the how the album is set up and like you can relate to this, I
Uh-huh.
felt like very much like him being in his 30s and older and navigating and the thing. I was like, yep, this is my album. So that stuck out to me.
Yeah, that's such a great album. And like you said too, like I'm a casual Tyler fan. Like I think he's an amazing creative and stuff. And like I had to sit with this one and I'm just like, wow, this man's crazy. This is such a good
A little
album.
bit, a little bit, a little bit, but he's great. So,
Yeah. So if you weren't a singer, what would you be?
ooh, I want a singer. Dang. Well, we were going to school to be a therapist, so that is a thing, which I still
True.
think later on in life.
Yeah, girl, for
Was
sure.
a therapist for I was going to be a consulting therapist for labels, so like for artists.
Oh, I love that.
No, that's still it's still on the books, maybe out there.
Yes, girl, please, because I feel like that is so needed. I'm
But I
sorry.
was like, I can't do both right now, so I was like, we're gonna work on the artistry, and then later on in life, we'll come back. We'll come back.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh no, I love that. That's really good. It's really like helpful too. Like for artists, like I feel like they need an outlet, especially like even I was seeing like interviews with Kiki Palmer because she has her new book coming out. She was talking about how being like a child actor and
Mhm.
stuff and like how like she wishes like there was more like uh therapy options like for child actors and stuff like that. So even working with children, which I feel like is different with therapy and stuff like that. It's two different things, but you
Yeah.
know, specialize in. But yeah. So lastly, what is one thing that you want to manifest for yourself for since we're towards the end of the year, but like maybe for next year?
Hmm. So I've been doing this full time for almost 5 months. So I want to manifest being able to fully fund my lifestyle
Yeah,
like 3 times over in 2025.
period.
Because like we're making it, we're figuring it out, but I want it to be like, in the overflow. Like
Yeah.
we want it to, yeah. So I want to manifest that, I think. And a Grammy win. We love that. We love
Yes, 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 absolutely.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
was so nice speaking with you.
It was nice being here. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Thank you so, so much.